I'm shocked. Lord, if you don't answer, I know he didn't work that day. He's out running the house.
That's what he said. Right?
He was serious. He was serious. Okay.
Some of it.
Okay. Angela's telling him what to do.
Once you get a value, yeah, that's I'm only interested in one. Other than that,
How many others?
the rats. Actually, he marked down like 7 so far. Check number the icing on there.
Well, you're gonna find out. Yep, first. Go in there. My car? Yeah, you might get it. It's a little sweet.
They should.
It's a little
And
jam.
also,
It's a little jam.
for some people, but I mean, if you actually wanted to be able to do more with the reference, you can. You can get free dirt. Just those over. You have right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's it. All you gotta do is get a piece of equipment in there, shoot it down there, go back. Right. Yep. Yeah. The other thing that they do is you got one thing that's called creeks. I would be able to connect to that part. That does go on past.
Yeah, we didn't drink a lot of water.
Oh, you guys didn't? Oh, yeah, we walked the whole, almost the whole perimeter.
Bring us something, huh?
They put markers. Yep, they surveyed. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know. That's a beautiful stuff. Yeah. That's all.
Get out.
Yeah, I told you.
everybody today? We're going to go through the rules of the sale before we conduct it, trying to prevent anybody from making any boom. In order to bid today, you have to have a valid photo ID. You have to be able to prove who you are, and there's a reason for that we'll get into later. You have to be registered prior to bidding. When you're bidding today, you're accepting the rules of the sale. They're printed. Everybody's got a copy. It's in your sale book. It's the small, teeny, tiny print. If you're bored and you're waiting for something to do, you can go ahead and read that while we're getting to your property so that you know what's going on. When you're bidding today, you're accepting those rules in their entirety, as well as any additional conditions on specific properties that may be listed online or things that we announced at the time of the sale. So pay attention. These properties have been through a judicial foreclosure process. The question people ask us all the time: how many of you are new and have never been to one of these? Lots of you, probably most of you. The question we get asked all the time is, can the former owner come back and pay the taxes and get this property back? And the answer is no. You, not without going to see the judge and hiring an attorney and going through it, you'd have to. What? You can buy something back. You can't pay the taxes and get it back. You can buy something back. Anyway, this has been through a statutory foreclosure process. There's a judgment entered at the courthouse in the property where this property is located. Everybody that had an interest in these property was sent notice. They had until April the 2nd to pay. If they didn't pay, they lost that interest. It's gone. That includes mortgages. It includes liens. It includes land contract buyers, land contract sellers, everything of that sort. If that wasn't enough, sending them stuff in the mail. We went out to every piece of property, not once, but twice. We went out there before foreclosure to talk to any occupants of the property, let them know that somebody had to pay the taxes or they'd have to move. And we went back out again and put one of those yellow signs in just about every piece of property out there. I don't know about you, but if I woke up in the morning and found that in my front lawn, I'd have a clue there's something going on. We've seen the judge. We did ask the judge to clear title, and they did so. April the 2nd is the end of the redemption period. That has sailed. That ship has sailed. Deeds, land contracts, mortgages, security agreements, heirs and estates, construction liens, IRS and tax liens, water and sewer bills, municipal charges, condo fees, property owner association fees, unrecorded interests, leases of all kinds are void by judicial decree. It's on file at the courthouse. Some things do not go away when you buy one of these pieces of property. This is that list. It's not exhaustive, but this is most of it. If you buy something and it's got an easement over it, that easement is still there. Some of them are utility lines. Some of them might provide access to somebody that has property behind the piece that you're buying to give them access to theirs over yours. You can't shut them off. Easements that existed prior to foreclosure are still in place. If the mineral rights had been split off and sold to a third party, that's called severing the mineral rights. If the mineral rights were split off in the past, they're still split off. If the last owner of the property had the mineral rights, you get them. If they didn't, you don't. That's the rule on that. Condominium master deed covenants of public record are still in place. If the Department of Environmental Quality has a lien on a piece of property, or if they have access rights to abate contamination issues, those are placed also. Well, I think we've got one of those today. We'll let you know what that is when we get to it. If there is a bonded special assessment, sometimes they assess taxes against the property. They create a district. They create an assessment district for things like paving the street, sidewalks, or sewer lines. I think out in Honeymoon Heights, they have one for street lighting. If you buy something that's got a bonded special assessment on it, you're inheriting the balance due on that assessment. Again, if we're aware of the assessment, that amount, or at least the fact that there is one, is included in the description. It is still subject to zoning and other local ordinances. If you buy something and it's got zoning that those apply to. Crop harvest. whoever planted them this year. Things like Christmas trees or something like that. But if you buy something and it's 40 acres and it's covered in corn, it's not your corn. We're reserving the right in today's sale for whoever planted something to come back and harvest on your own. Don't call me. Please, 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 please know what you're bidding on. There are no refunds. The time to do your homework is before the sale, not after it. If you haven't seen something with your own two eyes, if you have a county building or the local township or village office to find out what that piece of property is, not doing your homework is not a reason to get a refund. The answer is no. We'll tell you that right in advance. We're going to be selling this marvelous piece of property in a couple of weeks. It's in the Upper Peninsula. That is water frontage on Lake Huron. Looks like a great piece of property. Everybody looks at that, thinks I could buy that, build my little retirement place right there. By golly, there it is. That is the water frontage right there. But there's some things you can't see even in that picture. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? That piece of waterfront property there on Lake Huron, you can't really even tell from that angle right there. But see where those trees stop and that one's leaning a little bit? Well, by golly, they go straight downhill about 50 feet into Lake Huron. And if you look at the map on the left, you can see that the center of that lot is underwater. Almost the entire piece of property right there has slid off that hill from erosion. There's not even enough room on that lot to set up a chair. And I'll bet somebody pays us about $30,000 for that because they're not paying attention. Don't be that guy. Make sure you know what you're bidding on. They can have all kinds of problems. This is just the beginning of a list. If it's built before about 1975, it's probably got lead-based paint in it. Don't pick it and eat it. It'll give you a tummy ache. Just a hint. It can have infestation of critters. The roof probably leaks. The pipes are probably frozen because they weren't winterized. You can have underground storage tanks, bad water and sewer lines, bad roofs, bad foundations. The bathrooms can be completely gone. You name it, we've probably got it in our sale today. Sometimes, like that piece of property right there, it's got every single problem on that list. We've offered that property 3 times in the past. We've sold it twice. It didn't sell the last time, but we've sold that twice. People will buy just about anything. I'm here to tell you. We don't have that one this year. We tried selling it last year. Nobody would buy it. It's in Ontonagon County, if you know where that is. And I'm sorry to report we don't have that one this year, but we got one right down the road just like it. So if you want that, if you know where Mass City, Michigan is, that beauty is for sale this year in Mass City. Come see us. We'd be more than happy to take your money for that one. There are no refunds. Please make sure you know what you're bidding on today. There are no refunds. You can't buy it and bring it back after you wore it to the dance. This ain't Walmart. Once you buy it, it is yours. Here's how we're going to sell today. We got more people than we got chairs, and that won't last long, and here's why. When you came in, you told one of those clerks what you were here to bid on. We've got about maybe 5 pieces of property that a lot of people in this room think they're going to walk out of here with for the minimum bid. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you got company. On some of these properties, we probably have 8, 10, 12, 15 bids. We're going to sell those pieces first. The pieces that are real popular, we're going to move to the front of the sale, and most of you are going to get on out of here once we've done so. Then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book. We're going to sell them in the order that they're listed. If nobody has expressed any interest in a piece of property, we're going to skip it unless somebody asks for it when we're going by it. We will ask before we skip a piece of property. If you want it, we'll sell it to you. But if nobody has indicated interest and nobody in the room says they want it, we're not going to bother opening them up. There's no sense in trying to sell you something you don't want to buy. When we open the bidding, there's a number in your book. That is the minimum bid. We can't sell it for any less than that today. That's a law that we have to do it that way. That minimum bid, that's not a number we picked out of thin air. That's the back taxes. That sometimes includes things like boarding up windows or mowing lawns or taking care of the property. Sometimes we have to defend a title in court before we get to the sale. We've got a mobile home over on the other side of the state that's got a minimum bid of almost $70,000 because we've spent that much on attorney fees just getting it there. But once we open a piece of property up for bidding, we're going to open up at 1 numbers. We're going to use that minimum bid number unless I already have a higher bid online. These properties have been available online for people to bid on. At 11 o'clock when that closed, I had 68 bids on properties already. I think 8 or 10 of those bids may be on individual properties. I think I've got one property here that I had 15 bids on online before the sale even took place today. Once we open, we're going to open at the higher of that minimum bid or a higher bid if I already have one online. Once the bidding is open, the bid increments increase in the numbers that you see. Until we get to $1,000, it goes up at least $50 in round numbers at a time. $250, $300, $350, $400. Not $301, not $317, $300, $350, $400, $450. Between $1,000 and $10,000, we go up at least $100 at a time. Over $10,000, the minimum increase is $250. The people online have to bid in those bid increments. So do you. It's only the fair way to do it. Jumping the bid is something that you're more than welcome to do if you want to. You've got something in that book that you want really bad. The minimum bid is $2,000. It opens up and somebody says 2,000 and somebody over here says 21 and that guy says 22 and that guy says 23 and you just stand up and go, I'm going to give you $852 million. That's called jumping the bid. Feel free to do it. It makes the sale go a whole lot quicker. Some of you in this room today may not be legally eligible to bid. Think this through. This is a law. This is Michigan law. This has been in place maybe 5 years now. You cannot bid. You cannot buy. You cannot take title. You can't even pay for a piece of property today if somebody else bids on it if you have any delinquent taxes in these two counties. In the past, we've had a real big problem with people coming to the sale that buy a lot of property that already have a bunch of property and they don't even take care of it. They don't mow the grass that's sitting there covered in junk and their taxes are always all backed up and they pay at the last minute. You can't buy if you're one of those people. The legislature says unless you are current on your taxes, you can't bid today. We're going to look through the list after the sale today. If you bid on something anyway, your sale is going to be canceled. You can't bid, you can't buy, you can't be listed on the deed, you can't pay for a piece of property if you have delinquent taxes in Montcalm or Ionia counties today. This includes some situations, and everybody's going, yeah, I'm good on that. This includes some situations you might not necessarily think about. If you've got a piece of property you've sold to somebody else on a land contract, are they current? Because if they're not, you're not eligible. If you have any interest in a piece of property that has delinquent partnership or a business sold on a land contract, something that you co-own maybe with siblings, maybe mom's house has the 3 siblings on the deed with mom as a way to pass title if she predeceases you and her taxes aren't paid. My question to you is, why are you spending money if your mom's taxes aren't paid? You should have those all paid up. But anyway, anything that you have any title interest in, if the taxes are not, if they are delinquent, we can't sell to you today. We have several kinds of bidders at these sales. We have you guys here in the room bidding. We have people that have bid on these parcels online in advance of the sale. That bidding closed at 11 o'clock today. I have those bids in front of me. I know which properties, how many bidders, and how high they'll go. We have people bidding live online today. On top of that projector, there's a camera with a microphone in it. I don't think we've got a video stream going today because we're having some internet issues here today. So there may not be a video stream, but they can hear the sale. They can bid against time. The credit card authorization, their money is as good as yours. I will remind the people bidding online, watch the text on your screen if you want an indication of what's happening in the room right now. Do not rely on the audio or video feed if there is one there. It's going to be delayed. You'll be bidding after we've probably already sold something. Sometimes we have paper absentee bids. We don't have any of those today that I'm aware of. Remember that your bid is a legally binding contract. When you agree to buy something here today, when you're the high bidder, we expect you to pay for it. If you don't pay, you won't be coming back. We do reserve the right to cancel or reject any and all bids. We do not reopen the bidding because you think that we missed you. It's your job to get the attention of the auctioneer when something's being sold. If I'm not looking at you and I'm saying going once, going twice, make some noise, shout at me if you need to. That's what that card's for. Get it up in the air and make sure that we get your bid before we say sold. Once it's sold, it is. We reserve the right to reject the bids of anybody that seems to be acting for somebody that we're pretty sure is not eligible because they've got delinquent taxes. We have it happen. Somebody comes in that we know has a bunch of property that the taxes aren't paid up on, and they bring their friend with them from down at Bob's Burger and Beer, and every time they want him to bid on it, they just kind of have a little twitch, you know, and all of a sudden the other guy's card goes up. If we see that happening and we know that you're not eligible, we will refuse to take your bids. There are no tie bids. Any bid not received at the time of this sale are not valid. Sometimes people are bidding online and that bid does not get through. We do not control the internet or its speed or security or anything else. When we say sold, it's sold to the person that we were pointing at or the online bidder that had that I bid at that time. If you win, you have to pay in full today. No down payment. You don't have time to go schedule to borrow money. There's no closing date. The sale is going to be conducted today. You're going to pay in full today. We hope that you came prepared. It's pretty simple to do so. If you're bidding online, you're going to be receiving an email at the end of today. It will give you instructions on how to submit your payment for the property within 24 hours. You'll be receiving that email. There are slightly different rules for people bidding online, but for those of you bidding here in the room today, you're expected to pay today before you leave. The first $1,000 that you give us for your combined purchases has to be paid in certified funds. That's a cashier's check or a bank draft. Orders for the difference. That first $1,000 in certified funds is your deposit. If you give us the $1,000 certified check and your check bounces, you don't get that $1,000 back. It's a non-refundable deposit. Anything over $1,000, we'll take your payment by a cashier's check, personal or business check, money orders or credit card. We accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover card today. Your Walmart card won't work here, unless, of course, it's a Visa card. We do not accept cash, not any longer. We used to. Too many stories, too many problems, no more cash at the sales. If you did bring a bunch of cash today, you're going to have to figure out a way to convert that to some other form of payment very quickly. And I don't know that the bank on the corner will help you unless you are a customer of theirs. What are you going to pay if you win today? Here's how the math works. We're going to take that final bid price, the hammer price, what we sell it for. There are three things that are going to be added to that. A 10% buyer premium. $30 is the cost of recording your deed. The deed is going to be recorded with the county register of deeds before it is sent back to you. You're also today going to be paying the summer tax on the property. Each piece of property at the end of the description has summer tax due. We're collecting that today. We're going to make sure it gets paid over to the local unit of government, the city, village, or township. When you leave here today and you've made that payment, all the taxes on this property are paid up right to the summer tax bill for 2018. So it's the bid price, 10%, $30, and the summer tax. That's what you're going to be paying today. If you're using a credit card for any part of your purchase, you can add 2.75% to the amount that you're putting. More than one owner and they're not married, you have to choose a type of tenancy. That's a word, it's a legal term. Those are the options right there. Basically, what we're asking you is if one of you dies, what happens to your ownership in that property? Does it go to your heirs or does it go to the other remaining owners? That's what you have to choose. If you're buying property today with somebody else on the title and you're not married to them, what happens if somebody dies? I should say when. We're all going to go sooner or later. You're going to have to pick one of those options. It's explained in the sale book. Take a peek at those if you're buying a piece of property with somebody else today. When you are leaving today, you're not leaving with the title to the property. You're not getting the deed today. It has to be recorded before it's sent back to you. You're paying $30 for it to be recorded. They're going to take an image of it, keep it on the permanent county records, mail it back to you, probably about 6 weeks till you get that deed. What you're going to leave here with today is a receipt. That receipt is your evidence that you bought this piece of property today. There are some things on the receipt that you're going to be verifying that the clerks outside are going to go over with you, so we're going to tell you what those things are now, so when you get out there, it's not a mystery. First of all, they're going to ask you to initial it in one spot, verifying that the information on the receipt is correct. Please check the spelling of your name, your address, your zip code, the list of parcels that you bought, and the prices. If anything in that group wrong on the receipt, it's going to be wrong on the deed. You don't want your name misspelled on the deed. You don't want to get a deed for the wrong piece of property. The way that you can make sure that doesn't happen is by making sure the information on the receipt is correct. You're agreeing to the terms of sale when you sign that receipt out there. You are agreeing when you accept the receipt that you have the opportunity to inspect the property and you're accepting it as is. Even if you didn't even take the time to drive by it, you're agreeing that you're buying it as is. You're also going to be indemnifying the seller against injury, loss, or damage between now and the time that you get the receipt. Here's something that I ask you keep in mind. You're buying this property today. You're paying for the property today. Under the law in Michigan, you are not the owner of this property till the deed is in your hand. It's going to be about 6 weeks. We've been doing this an awful long time. I've been at this over 30 years. A couple people in here have been at this longer than I have, and we know how this works. You're going to buy a piece of property today. You're not the owner for 5 or 6 weeks until you get that deed, and we could tell you 100 times, don't go inside until you have the deed, and you're going to be in there by 4 o'clock today anyway, aren't you? You're just itching. If it's vacant, you just can't stand the wait. You're going to be in there no matter what we tell you. So here's the deal. We know how that works, so we're going to make a deal with you. We're giving you possession today. The treasurer can cancel the sale if they have a reason to do so until the deed is delivered. Don't spend a bunch of money. Don't start doing anything to that property that you can't undo if your sale is canceled. Any money that you do spend is at your own risk. If you buy a house and it needs a roof and you just can't stand to wait because you're sure the winter's coming in August and you put a roof on it and your sale has to be canceled, you just bought somebody else a brand new roof. Don't spend a bunch of money on these until you have the deed. So we're going to be giving you possession of the property. Consider yourself a guest. Consider yourself almost kind of quasi as a renter. You're a guest of the seller until you have the deed. You have the right to enter the property as long as there's nobody already there. The level of danger or security risk that may be at the property. Don't start doing a bunch of improvements until you have the deed. In exchange for early possession, you're going to be indemnifying the seller as part of your checkout process against any loss from injury, theft, damage, those sorts of things. You take your brand new table saw out there and leave it, and somebody comes and helps themselves to it, that's on you. You should try to get these properties insured as soon as you can. This is the final part of your checkout process. We are required to do this by law. We told you earlier that you cannot buy today if you have any other delinquent taxes in these counties in any way, shape, or form. At the tail end of the process, they're going to ask you if you are willing to basically swear that under oath. They're going to witness your attestation that you have no delinquent taxes. All of the clerks are notary publics. They're going to be verifying that you made that statement in front of them. We're going to signify by their signature right after yours that that has been done. If you make a misrepresentation, if you are aware that you have delinquent property taxes and you tell us you don't, you've just committed something that's called perjury. Perjury in Michigan is not a misdemeanor. Perjury in Michigan is a felony. If you have delinquent taxes, please don't bid. Your sale will be canceled and you may have committed perjury. It will be sent to the prosecutor if you do that. This is homework. This is a form that's in the back of your book that the assessor in the city, village, or township where the property is located expects you to send in within 45 days. And if you don't send it in, they can fine you up to $200. This is a form that basically says, I have bought a piece of property, it's being transferred to me, I want you to send me the tax bills at this address, here's how much I paid, I bought it from the county treasurer in either Montgomery or Iowa County, separate form for each piece of property. You send this to the city, village, or township assessor where the property is located within 45 days. You're going to fill out the top half of that form, you're going to sign it at the bottom, and you're going to mail that baby on in. Whole bunch of check boxes in the middle. We've looked them over dozens of times. Nothing in there applies. You don't need to check any of those boxes. There's one that talks about redemption from a tax sale. You're not redeeming today, you're buying it one. There's a difference between the two. Get it filled out, get it sent on in, and don't get fined. Title insurance. If you want title insurance, if you think you're going to need it, you can probably get it. There are some companies that are better than others at issuing title insurance on tax-reverted property. Here's an analogy we like to make. You call your insurance agent and you say, I've got a brand new 16-year-old driver in the house. Right? And the insurance agent gets a little quiet. Then you tell him that he's already got 3 DUIs. They're not going to be too crazy about taking that. That's the same. Will require you to go get a deed from the last owner in some situations. Not all do. Some are easier to work with than others. If you check with your local title insurance agent, any luck, here are some places you can try. American Title Insurance Agency in Detroit that specializes in just this kind of property. TaxTitleServices.com in California. Vet Title, actually it's now known as Sun Title. I need to check that. Sun Title in Grand Rapids. Devon Title Company has offices across the state. There's a brand new one there that's out of Indian River, SNP Title Agency, snptitle.com. They're brand new this year. I've been working this spring. They seem to be very willing to write title insurance on these properties. If you're in the Western UP, which you're not, so we're going to just skip the title there. But there are 5 right there. If you can't get it anywhere else, one of those companies right there is likely to be willing to work with you. They have brochures, some of them at the counter on the way out, if you are interested in that information. April the 3rd is a very important day for you if you buy a piece of property today. That's an effective date. We told you earlier that everybody that had an interest in these properties had until the end of April 2nd. Usually it's March 31st. This year, March 31st was on the weekend. So it gets kicked forward to the next Monday that people can come in and pay. That was April the 2nd. So April the 3rd is the day that the treasurer became the owner of this property. It's also the effective date of your purchase. Everything before April the 3rd, with very few exceptions, is gone. There's a judicial decree on file at the courthouse. It wipes that stuff all out. If anybody shows up and says, I put a roof on that house and that guy never paid me, you owe me $10,000. Your first question is, when? Anything that you hear from anybody, your question is, when? If it's before that date right there in 2018, sayonara, pal. You're on my property and your lien is gone. Go talk to the judge. It's been voided, whether it's recorded, unrecorded, whether it's written on a bar napkin or whatever it is gone. Everything after that date is your responsibility. Anything that we are aware of, you're paying today. The summer taxes, you're paying today. If we've been made aware of any mowing fees or anything like that from a local municipality, we've already rolled that into that minimum bid that you're paying today. If it's after that date, homeowner association fees, condo fees, and yours. If there's a bonded special assessment, installments in the future are yours. Anything that existed before that date, for the most part, with very few exceptions, is either gone or already in today's minimum bid. Municipal utility liens. We run into this often. All these years later, we're still trying to convince some of the cities and villages that their old water bills are not your new water bills. If you buy something today and it's on city sewer or city water or city anything, and you go down to have it put in your name and they say the last guy didn't pay his bill and we're not going to turn it on until you pay his bill, it's not your responsibility. The Attorney General's office says so. It's in writing. You can look it up online. You should write this down. That number at the top, 7258, is going to be important to you if you're buying something that's on city water or sewer. It's an Attorney General's opinion that says a tax sale buyer is not on bills against the property. They've been taxes and keep that lien, or they didn't pay it and they lost it. Just because they're the facility and they have the rent turn it on and off doesn't mean that they can deny you service or require you to pay an old bill. Somebody else's old bill is not your new bill. You can look it up online. Michigan Attorney General Opinion 7258. You look it up by that number, you can pop it up, print it off, take it down to City Hall, boom, your water's on. You didn't have to pay anybody's bill. People call us all the time after the sale, say, what was that number again? Write it down now, 7258. Possession, we're giving you possession like we said today. What happens if you buy a piece of property and there's somebody already in there? There's a car in the driveway, there's lights on, you can see people moving around. Possession today for purposes of supervision, security, and inspection only. If there's nobody there, you can let yourself in. We don't have the keys. Make your own way in. Change all the locks in the house because whoever was there last has keys to whatever we may not have changed already. What if there's somebody there now? If there's anybody in that property, whether they have a lease or an understanding or an agreement with anybody, they're in Michigan what is considered a occupant. They are a tenant holding over under the law. They're not a squatter. They're a squatter if they moved in after you bought it. If they're already there, you have to evict them. You cannot shut off the utilities. You can't just go in and start moving their stuff out. You'll get yourself in a whole lot of trouble with the district court judge or the police if you do. If there's somebody in there, you have to evict them. Sometimes you can negotiate. There's something called cash for keys. You offer people a few $100. They move out, you get possession a lot quicker, and you get to keep the water heater too. It's a great deal. Don't give them the cash until you get the keys. We've heard of people giving out large, generous checks, $500,000 to get somebody to move without damaging. Oh, they took that $500 and went right on to Soaring Eagle, and they're still living in the house. Make sure that their stuff is all in the truck and they're in the driveway on the way down the road before you hand them the cash and get back the keys. If you're not sure who's in the property, sometimes people are here to buy something and they're a friend or a relative or a neighbor of the people in that property, and you've already talked to them and it's all cool and copacetic and they're going to stay and you're just helping them out. That's fine. If you don't know who's in there, they might be volatile. They might be angry. They could be unbalanced. They could be armed. You might want to make first contact by telephone. Here's a good tip for you. If you go to a piece of property, you bought it, there's somebody in it, you're not sure who it is to go talk to the neighbors. Every neighborhood has got somebody in it that it's their business to know everybody else's. You find that person and you'll get the true read on exactly what's going on in that house. They'll be able to probably give you some contact information and a read on what their state of mind is. It's not always a good idea just to go up and bang on a door and tell somebody they got to get out. You might meet with some situation that you're not prepared for. So if there's somebody in it, eviction, cash for keys, those are probably your two options. What you're buying today, you are buying a piece of real estate. The description of it is listed in the book that's in your hands. You're buying that real estate and whatever is physically glued, screwed, or tattooed on that piece of property, whatever's attached to it is included in today's sale. If you're buying a piece of property and there's something on it that has a title, something on it that can be removed, it is not included because we don't own it. You're buying land, buildings on the land. You're buying things like septic tanks, power services, utility services, paving, garages. You're buying things like that. If it's ever had a title to it, even if it's attached to that house, it may not be included. You are not buying automobiles, motorcycles, boats, furniture, appliances, anything that's property that is not attached to it, or anything that's on the property that it is attached to it that's owned by somebody else. Sold a house in Battle Creek a few years ago. About a year later, the guy was putting it on the market, listing it to sell it. And he called me and he said, I just got a call from the Culligan who wants his water softener back. That was attached to the property. It's mine, right? No, it's not yours. If it was owned by somebody else before the foreclosure, we don't own it. We own the building and the land and most of what's attached to it unless it's owned by a third party. We do not guarantee the title to any kind of a mobile, modular, or manufactured housing unit. Anything that's ever had a separate title, even if it appears to be physically attached to that property, we cannot guarantee the title to them. Most often, the mobile homes we sell, if somebody did try to move them, they wouldn't come off in one piece. Once in a while, we get something really good. We run into situations sometimes where the person that owned the land and the person that owned the housing unit on the land that had a separate title may not be the same person. If the person that owned that unit never got any notice of the tax sale, they had no interest in the land, it might be a lot rent situation. It might be a relative. There could be a secured party that has a lien against a mobile or modular unit that did not have a mortgage on the land. They would have gotten no notice. There's not a judge that won't let them come and take it. If you're buying anything today that's ever had wheels underneath it, we do not guarantee the title to that unit. We're almost ready to get going here. We're going to take questions if anybody's got one in just a second. It's like riding a teeter-totter. We're going to open up with the highest bid we have online if we have one. If we don't, we're going to come into the room. I'm going to be looking for that minimum bid. Once I have somebody in the room that wants to get the bidding started, I'm going to look for somebody else that wants to get the bidding started. I'm going to go back and forth between two bidders until one of them slows way down or drops off, and then I'm going to go find another bidder. I'm not going to try to have 15 people bidding at the same time. It just turns into a train wreck. So that's how that's going to work. We do another thing that you'll see here in just a second on our real popular properties. Before riding the teeter-totter, it's kind of like that jumping the bid thing that we saw earlier, except down here, rather than take 20 minutes to get there, I'm just going to see if somebody wants just to go right there. So we will do that in a minute too. Just before we get started, a couple of reminders to cause you, to not cause you any grief. When you leave today, that bid card that you've got in your hand, treat that like a credit card. When you don't leave that on your chair, be as much fun as bidding with somebody else's money. Turn it back in where you got it. Make sure that they acknowledge that they got it. Don't just leave it somewhere. Your cell phone, please put it on silent or vibrate. We are trying to conduct a sale in here. If you need to talk to somebody or something of that nature, please take it outside so that the rest of us can hear. If you make a mistake, people sometimes in the excitement of the moment get in bidding on something and they're just going and all of a sudden they won and then they discover it was the wrong property. Let us know right then. I get the other bidders in the room. I can't do it 20 minutes later after they've left. Please be considerate of everybody else in the room. There may be somebody here that's a former owner of property that's upset about it. We can't do anything about it today. The law says these are to be sold here today. Treat everybody else with respect. We will do so as well. Yes. We will discuss that once we get into that part of it. His question basically was, if you're not the high bidder, you get outbid, and we discover that the high bidder was ineligible, do you get another crack at it? We do collect the information on the backup bidder. If there's a backup bidder situation and you are the backup bidder, you're going to be offered the property for one bid increment below the final sale price. That $50, $100, $250 that we talked about at the beginning. It's yes or no. It's not negotiable. You can't say, well, I don't want to give you $300. Doesn't work like that. If the high bidder is disqualified, we're going to contact the backup bidder, offer them the property for one bid increment less. It's yes or no. When we say a piece of property is sold, it is sold. We do not reopen the bidding, no matter how loudly you protest, unless I get overruled by the boss sitting right over here to my right. So keep that in mind. Make sure your bid is loud and proud. Get your card up in the air. If I'm not seeing you and I'm saying going once, going twice and sold, it is sold. I am not an auctioneer. I do not do the yabba dabba do. It's going to be very clear who the high bidder is. I'm going to be pointing at them and saying what that winning bid is. If I'm not, you're not winning. So I have 4 pieces of property in my sale book that have a whole lot of people chasing them. We're going to sell those 4 first. And they are in Ionia County, number 2621, which is the property on Hawley Highway out Belding Way. In Montcalm County, number 7008, which is on Hillis Road, Stanton. 7010, which is the lakefront property on Flint Drive. And 7036, which is the property on East Kent Road in Greenville. We're going to sell those pieces first. I'm going to take another look at my list. I may add one more. We're going to sell those first because they have a lot of interest in it. That's going to clear out a lot of the chairs in here. Does anybody have any questions before we get going? Once we've sold 1 or 2, it'll be all works. Then we're going to get going. Let me make a couple of notes here. Okay. Let's go down to number 2621 and get started with today's sale. While we're doing this, make sure to get your hand up in the air. We will get to your question as soon as we can. This is the loan you catalog. It's on Holly Road out Belding Way. You'll see in your book there a minimum bid of $3,500 in sale. If we have higher bids before the sale, we start right there, and we do. I've already got a bid online of $15,750. You can see it right down there on the bottom of your screen. Anybody in the room want to give me $16,000? Anybody here for that? I've got 16. Was that 25? 25. How about 25 and a half? I jumped the bid a little bit. 25 and a quarter. Oh, come on. We hardly know each other. I've got 25,000 back there. Anybody want to give me 25,250? 25,250. 25 and a half. How about 26 and a half? 27 and a half. 28 and a half. 29 and a half. 30,000. You want to give me 31? How about 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and $40,000. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and $50,000. 50. You don't like me anymore, do you? I got 50,000 right down here in front. Anybody in the room at 50 and a quarter? Anybody anywhere? What about, oh, they're back, 50 and a quarter, 50 and a half, now 50,750. It's only money. 51 and a quarter. 51 and a half, 51,750, and now 52,000. 52 and a quarter, 52 and a half, 52,750. Now 53 and a quarter. 53 and a half, 53,750. 55 and a quarter. I've got 55,000 right down front. Anybody anywhere at 55,250? Anybody? What about online? They've been awful quiet. I've got 55,000 going once. 55,000 going twice. You bought it 55,221. My backup bidder back in the back row. What's your number? Number 216. We'll call you when his wife finds out what he just did. Honey, where did the vacation money go? All right, they're there, and as you can see, hands were circling overhead looking for a place to land, and they exacted to clear their way. It's total loss. There's nothing left there now. I've got a couple bids online and 12 people in the room here for this one today. Hillis Road, Stanton area, fire damage. I am already at $3,600 with an online bidder. Who wants to give me 37? All over the room. Here's a little game we play. You just hold that card up till I say a number that you will not pay. 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500, 6,000, 6,500, 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 9,500, 10,000, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10,750, and 11,000, 11 and a quarter, 11,750, and now 12,000, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter. I've got you on at 12,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 12,250? 12,000 going once, 12,000 going twice. New bidder, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, 12,750, and now 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half, 13,750, and now 14 and a half, 14,750, and now 15,000, 15 and a quarter, 15 and a half. I've got you on at 15,250. Anybody in the room at 15,500? 15,250. He's back at 15,500, 15,750, and now 16,000, 16 and a quarter, 16,500. He said he's done. I've got you at 16,250. Anybody in the room at 16,500? 16 and a quarter twice. You bought it 16 and 10. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Number 7,010, I have 17 bidders online, 27 more in the room. And they all were kinda hoping nobody else would show up. And they'd buy that neat little place. I've already got 28,250 online, and it's gonna go higher than that again. If you are willing to pay 28,250, put your card in the air until I see a number that you won't pay. Only a couple of you? Oh, there's a few more. Now reality's setting in. 30,000, 35,000, 40,000. I'm gonna start with you at 40. Who wants her? You can't let him buy it that cheap. 40 and a quarter, 40 and a half. 40 and a half. I got you on at 40 and a quarter. Who wants to give me 40 and a half? What about the people online? 40 and a half, 40 and a quarter, 40 and a half. You gonna give me 41? You don't want to, but will you? 41 and a half, 42, 42 and a quarter. Let's take baby steps. Creeper gears, lows will go, 42, 42, 5. 50, 40 and a quarter, 43 and a half. I've got 43 and a quarter with you. Anybody in the room at 43.5? 43 and a quarter over there. Going once. Going twice. You bought it. 43,250. What's your bidder number? My backup bidder. What's his number? Back bidder's 2. Now, I added one more into the mix here that had a lot of interest. We're going to add in number 702 in the land and the utility. $2,600. I don't have a bid online for this one. Who wants to give me $2,600 for it? I've got one. I bet you wanted 5,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and now 6,000, 6,100, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, now 7,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and now 8,000. You want to go to 8,500? 85, how about 9,000? What about 85? 10 and a half. 10,750. 95. I'll take your number 2 as the backup bidder. 268. Going way across the state tomorrow for sale in East Tawas. And we got Big Rapids and Baldwin and Clare, yep, this week as well. Those are multiple county auctions, lots of stuff there. Let's go down to number 7036. And then we'll go back to the beginning of the book and start all over. 7036, Kent Road, Greenville Way. I've got 6 bids online. They like it a whole bunch. I've got 18 bidders in the room that came here today to buy this one too. It's not going to start at 14,000 though, because we've already got more than that online. We're going to play that card game again. I think maybe. I've got 40,250 already bid online, and they're going to go higher. If you'll give me 45,000, put your card in the air and keep it there till I give you a number that you just don't like. 50,000, 52.5, 55, 57.5, 61. I'm going to start with you at 61,000. Who in the room wants to give me 61.5? Anybody anywhere? Anybody at 61.25? What about, they haven't bid online at all yet. Tell those people to wake up. I'm at 61,000 over here. Anybody in the room at 61,250? 61,000 going once, twice. You bought it. 61,000, number 112. My backup bidder was over here. What was the backup? I'll take 111 and 1113 as well. See how easy it is to get rid of money. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of the page and start all over. I do not have a circle around the first two in Ionia County, and we're going to skip them unless somebody has an interest in them. That's number 2600 and number 2602. Is anybody in the room here to bid on either one of those two today? All right, let's go down to 2603. I have an online bid for that one. It's on Price Street in Ionia, vacant parcel. And I'm looking for anything more than what I've all, no backup bidder. Number 2605 is an acre with a condemned single wide out on Stage Road. $5,200 gets you the land and the utility service, whatever is there. It's all yours. $5,200. Where's my bidder for that one? Somebody wanted a circle. Anybody in the room going once? Twice. You got 52 online. Anybody want to give me 53? $5,200 online going once. Twice. Sold that one online, $5,200. Reminder to the online bidders, don't use the audio or video feed as your reference for what's going on. Watch the screen. 2606 is about a little less than half an acre, I'd say. Single wide out here that is burned. Again, your values in the utility service and the land. $4,100 for that gem right there. Anybody want to add that to their real estate portfolio? Right there, I got 41. Anybody want to give me 4,200? I've got 41 right there going once. 4,100 going twice. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and now 5,000. 5,100, now 52. I've got 5,100 with you. Anybody in the room at 5,200? 51 going once. Twice. You bought it. 5,100, number 101. My backup bidder, what's her number over there? Number 193. Is anybody in the room here to bid on 2607 today? Anybody anywhere? If not, we're going to go right on by. Nobody spoke. Number 2608 is next. Okay, I guess we're going to go back. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Try to stay with us because it's more complicated if we're jumping all over. 2607, Washington Street, Ionia. Vacant parcel. Maybe utility service still there. Was a mobile at one time. $2,100 is where? Right there. Anybody want to give me 22? And also that if you buy something that's in a city, village, or township, or in a city or village in particular, they often expect you to mow them. So if you go buying a bunch of vacant lots today, don't be surprised if you get the big mowing bill. Let's go to 2608. We want to sell you things you're going to take care of. That's our goal here today. 2608, I've got 2 bids online, 3 bidders in the room. We're in Lions now, 4-square building, 2-story, traditional design on Higbee Street. I am at $8,100 already with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me 9,000? 9. How about 9,500? What about 10 and a half, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 16,750. I got 16,500 with the lady right there. Who wants to give me 16,750? Anybody, anywhere? Online? Any heavy breathers on the phone? I've got 16,500 over here. Going twice. You bought it 16,500 to 89. My backup bidder. I'm good, but not that good. You're going to have to turn that card around. Thank you very much. As Elvis would say, thank you very much. That's the only impersonation I do. Be grateful for that. Anybody in the room for number 2609? We'll pass it if nobody wants it. Number 2610, somebody is here for. On Mather Road, Hubbardston. It's 165 feet square. It is occupied or was last we knew. $3,000 is my starting bid. I've got it there. Anybody in the room want to give me $3,100? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and $4,000. You want to give me 4,500? How about 5,000? 5,500. 51, 52, 53. I'm at 5,200 with you. Anybody in the room at 5,300? 52 going once. Twice. That one belongs to 5,200. What's the bidder number? 5,200 to 67. My backup bidder, 200. Is anybody here for number 2611 today? Let's open it up. Occupied single wide on Bradley Road out Belding Way. I need $3,800. I've got it right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 3,900? 39. 4,000. How about 45? 55. 6,000. 65. 7,000. 7,500. 8,001. 84. I'm at 83 with you. Anybody in the room? Once. Online? 84. 85. 86. 86. I've got 85 in the room. 85 in the room. Going once. Going twice. You bought it. 8,500, 192. My backup bidder is online. Number 2612. I have 3 bidders online for that one. We'll open it up. I'm thinking that looks like probably about 3 acres, more or less. I could be wrong, but it appears to be about 280 by 624. I'm $3,000 already online. Anybody in the room want to give me 3,100? Anybody anywhere? 3,000 online going once. 31 with a live bidder online. Anybody want to give me 32? 3,100 online. 32. This is the phase of the auction that is often quoted as resembling watching paint dry. We have 2 live bidders that are going to go back. Oh, look at that. We have 4 online bidders that are going to go back and forth on this. When it slows way down, We'll give them last call like we do to you. We'll give you an option to get back in. It looks like we have 3 acres in size, 4,700, and they're not done. 2 active online bidders now. These are live. That camera, that microphone right there, is there a link to what's going on? It's at 5,500 and still going strong. $6,000. And they're still not done. I tell you a good joke right now, but I don't know any. I'll save those for later. 6,600. It's slowing down, but they're not done. 3 bidders still active here. I need the Jeopardy music. $6,900 is where to be on the line. Anybody in the room here today for 2613? All right, she's got extra money to burn. She says, I'll buy that one. Whitesbridge Road, Belding Way. A little work. That's the optimistic view of that one right there. Interesting design, huh? $1,000. I've got bid right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 5,100? What about the people online? I've got 5,000 with the lady right there going once. Going twice. You bought it. 5,000, number 193. Number 2016. I'm not sure how we missed this one earlier. We probably should have sold this one a while ago. 2614, I've got 4 bids in line and 10 people in the room. Some traditional good old American farmhouse on a, let's play the card game. If you'll get 5,000 for this, put your card in the air and keep it there. I'm going to start with you over back there at 25,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 25.25? I've got that much online. 25.25. Then I give you 26. 29. Does he have the maximums somewhere? How about 30,000? 31. Training a new console operator today. 31, 32, 33, 32.5, 33 and a quarter. We'll do it this way. 33 and a quarter. How about 34 and a quarter? 35 and a quarter. 35.5, 35,750. I've got 35.5 with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 35,750? Anybody anywhere? I've got 35.5 in the back of the room. My backup bidder is online. Anybody in the room for the last 2 on that page, 2615 or 2616? It's wide open if you want them. Anybody here for those 2? 16. Is anybody here for 15? 2615, anybody anywhere? Let's sell 2616. It's on King Street, Ionia, corner lot. If that structure is still there, it's coming down, you're buying an empty lot. the city or the county is paying for the demolition. That being said, it's $4,500. Where's the bidder for that one? Anybody? I got 4,500 right there. Anybody want to give me 46? You can stand there and watch it go down. 45 going once, twice. 3,500 number 212. On to the next page. Anybody in the room for number 2617 today? Well, let's go down to 2618. 10 years old. The storage buildings, 12-foot ceilings, toy box, man cave, whatever you want to call it. $4,900 is the minimum bid. I've already got 14 and 750 with an online bid. They want to give me 15,000 for 15 and a quarter. 15 and a quarter. Let's see how high they're going to go online. You want to get and a quarter. They can only go up 250 at a time online. 16 and a quarter. And a half. I've got 16. I've got 17 with the lady in red. Quarter. 17 and a half. 17,000. 18 and a quarter. And a half. 18,750. 18,750. Now 19. 19,000. You can't build it for twice that much. I've got 18,750 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 19,000? 18,750 and a quarter. 19 and a half. 19,750. 19,750. 19 and a half going once. 19,750 and now 20,000. Now 20,250. $21,750. Backup bidder is online. The last one before we go to home. Number 2620 on Blaine in built, not horribly old, raised ranch. It does have some issues with mold starting. The roof's been bad. There's some issues with that, just lack of general care. I've already got $9,900 with an online bidder, and they're willing to go higher. Who wants to get your card up here and just keep it right there if you'll give me 10? 15. Anybody there want to get 26 and a quarter? 26 and a quarter with him. You already took it online. 26, 26.5, 26,750, 27, 27, 27 and a quarter. You want to go to 29, 30 and a quarter, 31. We've almost garage. 31 and a quarter. 32. 38,750. I need 39,000. Anybody in the room at 39,000? 38,750 going once. Sold it online for. We've already sold 2621 on to Montcalm County. 11,000 on Kildare Drive, Lakeview Way. It needs a new roof. Needs some expertise, needs a handyman. Here's the special for them. I am already at $3,900 with an online bidder. Who wants to give me 4,000? I've got 4,000 right here. Gonna go higher online. 41, 42, 43, 43, now 44, and 4,500. 46, 47, 47. Yeah, now 4,800. Anybody in the room want to give me 4,900? Anybody at 49, 48 online? Or excuse me, 48 in the room, need 4,900. 49, now 5,000. 5,100, now 52. 53, now 54. 55, now 56. $5,500 with you. Anybody in the room at 5,600? 55 going once. 67, 68, 69, and 7,000. 72. 73. I've got 72 right behind you. Anybody at 7,300? 73 online. Now that's the other neighbor. Now 74, 75, 75, 76. Now 70, 78. $8,000. Now 8,100. 82, 83, 84. Now 85. 86, 87, 88, now 89, 9,000, now 9,100, 92, and now 93, 94, and now $9,500, 96, 97, 10 and a half, 10, 7, 50. And now 11. He said he's done. They can have it on anymore. 10, 50 over here. Anybody in the room want to give me 11,000? 10, 7, 50 online. Going once, twice. 10, 7, 50 online. Minus 295. There. Anybody want to give me 8.5? I've got $800 back there going once. Twice, I think he was bidding. Maybe not. Never wave that card around. That's an awful expensive way to cool off. Anybody in the room? Number 7,001. Anybody, somebody wanted to? All right. Anybody 1,002 in Honeymoon Heights? Anybody here for that one? We interest in 7,003. There were some underground tanks here that have been. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality has been involved at this site, given a right to enter the property, to go poking and prodding and do what they do. If you buy a piece of property like this, you want to get something done that's called a baseline environmental assessment. Big long complicated word, BEA. You have 45 days to get it done from the time that you buy it. Basically, if you buy something that's contaminated and the DNR comes snooping around and wants you to say, oh, it was like that when I bought it, they're not going to take your word for it. You have to be able to prove it. You have to. They've already been around there. They already know the condition, but to cover your own hind end, you're going to want to get a BEA done. There are some restrictions that are now on record about what you can do this property. We've posted that on the website. You probably should have taken a look at that before you want to bid on it. All that. $2,000, 2,100, 22, 23, 24, 25, 3,500, 4,000, 41. 40, a lot of money on that one. I've got 45 with you. Anybody in the room at 46? 4,500. 46, new bidder now. 47. 48. 5,000. You gonna give me 5,500? 51. 51. I've got 5,000 with you. Anybody in the room at $5,100? 5,000 going once. Twice. 5,000, number 212. My backup bidder. What was that number up there? Number 108. Anybody in the room for the next three? 7,004, 5, or 6? Anybody here for those three? Let's go down to 7,007. 7,007. Nice site. There's a garage in the vicinity of this parcel that may or may not be on it. We're not guaranteed it either way. You should probably get a survey done. County Line Road, out Sumner Way. I'm already at $3,400 online, and they're willing to go higher. Anybody in the room want to give me 35? About a half dozen people in here that said they bid on it. Here they are, some of them. You at 55, 6,000. What about 6,500? 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 82, 83, 85, 86, 87, 8,800. I've got you. Anybody in the room want to give me 89? 89, 9,000, 91, 92, 93, 94, 9,500, 97, 98, 99, and now 10,000. I've got 10,000 with you. Anybody in the room at 10 and a quarter? 10,000 going one. Quarter new bidder. 10 and a half, 10,750. Now 10, 11,000. 11 and a quarter. 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11,750. And now 12 and a quarter. I've got you on at 12,000. Anybody in the room at 12,250? 12,000 going once. Twice. Sold for 12,000, number 204. My backup bidder. What's the number there? It is 222. We already sold 7,008. 7,009, Channel Drive, Stanton. 2 lots here. I've got an online bid already in the amount of $2,600 and 6,000, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, $10,000. New bid increment, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10,750, 11,000, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11,750, and now 12, 12 and a half, 12,750, 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half, you want to go and a half, 15 and a half, 17 and a quarter. Are you guys neighbors? I was going to say I get a referral fee from the fence salesman. 17 and a quarter. 17.5. Family conference. With you. Anybody in the room at 17,750? 17.5. Going once. Twice. 17.5. What's your bidder number? 17.5, 102. That appeals to you, I'll pick one out for you. That's a nice place for a big old wasp. We already sold number 7,010. 7,011 is next. Crystal Road, Westerberg. It's an occupied single wide. It was occupied as last. My minimum bid here is $4,300. Where's my minimum bidder? I got 4 people said they want to bid on this one. I got $4,500 over there. Anybody want to give me 44? Anybody anywhere? 4,300 going once. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 48. I've got 47 with you. Going once. 48, 49, and now 5,000. 5, now 51 and 52. It doesn't cost anything to bid unless you win. 51 going once. 52 online. 53, 53, now 54. 53 in the room right there going once. 53 going twice. 5,300, 243. My backup bidder on that one is online. Anybody in the room for 7012, the old motel? Nobody enticed to spend your retirement money on that one? Can't imagine. Number 7,013. North F Street in Trefant, occupied as last we knew. I'm at 33 bidder. Anybody in the room? I got 34 right there. Who wants to give me 35? Anybody in the room at 3,500? 35 behind you now, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 4,000. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 5,000. You want to go to 5,500? What about 6,000? 6,500, 7,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, 9,000, 95, and now 10. 97.50. 97.50, 10. 10 and a quarter. Again, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10, 750. 11 and a quarter. 11 and a half. 11 and a half. Checking with the boss. 11 and a half, 11, 750. And now 12. 12. He said he's all done. Boss said no more. I'm at 11, 750 with you. And 12 and a quarter. 12 and a half. 12, 750. 13 and 15, 5. You want to give me 15? 15, 5. 16, 5. 17, 5. 18, 5. 19, 5. $20,000. 20 and a quarter. And 20 and a half. Now 20,750. 21,000. 21 and a half. 21 and a quarter. That's as low as I can go. I'm at 21 and a quarter, now 21.5, 21,750. 21,750. Now 21, 22 and a quarter. 22 and a quarter. Now 22.5, 22,750. I'm at 22.5, right up there, standing up. Anybody in the room want to give me 22,750? 22.5 going once. Twice. 22.5, 294. My backup bidder is 263. Anybody in the room here for number 7014? It's 15 feet wide. You can do something with that. Outdoor bowling. 7015 is where we're going to next. Rosella Drive, Pearson, Michigan. You're basically buying a nice lot with the newer well. The mobile here should probably be eliminated unless you got some magic in your hammer. 7,015. I've got a 9 bid already at the opening bid of 3,300. You can't hardly buy the well for that. Who wants to give me 34? Anybody in the room at 34 right there? Anybody want to give me 35? I need $3,500. I've got 35, 36, 36, 37, 38, 39, and now 4,000. 4,100, now 42, 43, 44, 45. You want to give me 5,000 for that? How about 5,500? What about 6? 6,500, 7,000, 7,500, 8, 8,500, 9, 9,500, 10 and a half, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a quarter. I've got 17,000 right there. Anybody in the room at 17,250? Once, twice, 17,284. My backup bidder, what was your number? 210. Number 7016 Long Road, Pearson. Nice lot in Westfield Estates. I've already got the $1,700 minimum bid online. Oh, no, I don't. 16, I need $2,600. I've got it right there. 27, 29, and now 3,000. You want to give me 35? 500 for it, 45, 5,000, 55, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and $6,000, now 61. 61 over here, now 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and $7,000. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and $8,000. What about 8,500? How about 9,000? 9,500, 10,000, 10 and a half, 11,000, 11 and a quarter. Keep going, keep going. She said you could. I got $11,000 with you. Anybody want to give me 11,250? 11,250 right behind you. 11,500, 11,750. And now 12. How about 12 and a half? I've got 12 with you. Anybody want to give me 12 and a quarter? New bidder there, now 12,500. 13 and a half. 13 and a quarter. Just because I like it. 13,500, 13,750. 14 and a quarter. 14,750. 15,000, 15 and a quarter. I've got 15,000 back there. Anybody in the room at 15 and a quarter? There's got to be another neighbor around here somewhere. I got 15,000 right there going once. 15 and a quarter there online, now 15,500. 15,750. 16,000, 16 and a quarter. 16,500, 16,750. 17,000 and a quarter. 17,500, 17,750. 18,000 and a quarter. 18.5, 18,750. 19 and a quarter. You want to go to 20,000? 20,000 and a quarter. I don't know that online bidder. I got 20 in the room, 20 and a quarter online, 20 and a half, now 20,750. 20 and a half in the room. 20,750 online, now 21 and a quarter. 21 and a half, 21,750. 22,000, 22 and a quarter. 22.5, 22,750. 23,000 and a quarter. 23 and a half, 23,750. 24,000. He said he's done. I'm at 23,750 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room at 24,000? 23,750 going once. Twice. 23,750 online. My backup bidder is number 276. Number 7,017, I have a bid for that one online. It's on Andrea Drive, Sand Lake, Michigan. We know Andrea. Nice lot. This is the one in Westfield Estates. I got $1,700 already bid online. Who wants to give me 18? Anybody in the room anywhere? I've got 18 right there. 19 online. 2,000. Now 21. 22. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, now 29. I got $2,800 in the front row, 29 online now, 3,000 and 3,100. 3,000 in the room. 31 online, now 32 and 33. 32 in the room. 33 online, now 34 and 3,500. 36, now 37. 38, now 39. 4,000, 4,100. 42, now 43. 44, now 45. 4,400 in the room. 45 online. You want to give me 5,000? 5,000 in the room. Now 5,100. 5,000 in the room. 51 online. 5,200. Now 53. 54. 5,500. 56. 57. 58. 59. 5,800 in the room. 59 online. $6,000 and now 61. 6,000 in the room. 61 online. 62. Now 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. And now 7,000. 7,100. 72. He said he's done. I'm at 7,100 online. Anybody in the room at 7,200? 7,200 from a different bidder online. 2 live bidders. We'll give them a second here. Let them duke it out. See who gets back up after they're done brawling. We'll let you back in at whatever that price is if you want back in. It's at 7,500, 2 active online bidders. Are they done? Maybe they're done. $7,500 is where I'm at. Anybody in the room want to give me 76? He's back in. 76, now 77. 76 in the room. 77 online. 78. He said he's done again. $7,700 online. Going once, twice. $7,700 online. What's your number?
171.
One. Anybody in the room here for number 7018 today? Anybody here for that one? Out on Federal Road. Let's go on by it. On the next page, 7019. Wooded vacant property on a designated trout stream. 5 bidders online have already got this one up to $1,600. $2,000, I take that back. Who wants to give me $2,100? All over the room. You give me $2,500, put your card up and leave it there. $3,000, $3,500, okay. $3,000, who'll give me $3,000 for it? 3, gonna give me 31, 32, 31, 32, 31 back there. Anybody in the room want to give me 32? 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. I'm at 37 with you. Go right on through. 38 online. 39 over here. 4,000 online. 4,100. He said he's done. 4,000 online. Anybody want to give me 4,100? 41 with a live bidder. Here we go again. 2 live bidders online. It's at 4,100, and they're off. And now 3rd live bidder online. Took them a while to wake up today, but they're right at it. Anybody in the room want to give me, we're heading toward 5,000. It's at 4,500 and it's still ticking right off. 4,700 is where it's at right now. We'll let them keep running with it here. Two active online live bidders right now. Anybody here want to give me 4,900? I'm at 48 online. Going once, twice. Sold it online, $4,800. The backup bidder is also online. $7,020, number 7020. Our calculations tell us that it's not quite 3.5, 3.6 acres. It might be more like 2.5. The next 3, we think that summary comment about it being 3.6 acres might be incorrect. It's not quite defined. Vickeryville Road, number 7020. Who wants to give me $3,000 for that one? Anybody? There they are. I knew you guys were waiting for something. I got 3,000 right there. Anybody want to give me 31? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and $4,000. You have to go to 4,500. 45. What about 5,000? 46, 47, 48, 49. Now 5,000. I knew we'd end up there. 5,100. Now 52, 53, 53, 54. 5,500, 56, 57, 58, 59, 6,000, 61, 6,200, 63, 64. Her sign just went down. I'm with you at 6,400. Anybody in the room want to give me 65? 64 going once, twice, 65, 66, 67. 66, they're having a family conference back there. I've got you on at 6,600. Going once, twice, 6,600, number 100. My backup bidder, what's the number up in there? Backup bidder is 218. Right in the same vicinity, not far away at all, number 7021. $3,900. Where's my bidder for that one? I've got it right there at 3,900. Who wants to give me four? I got 4,000. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. I'll get you in a minute. 48, 49, 5,000, 51, 52, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and $6,000. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 7,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, $8,000, 81, 82. She said she's done. I bet you wanted 81. Anybody in the room want to give me an 8,200? I got 8,100 right here going once. 8,100 going twice. 8,100, number 100. My backup bidder is at 243, 243. Number 7022. Also right in that same vicinity. I think this one's adjacent perhaps to the last one. Don't quote me on that, but it's very close. 7022. I need $7,100 for that one. Where's my bidder for that one? I got 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and now $8,000. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 9,000. 91, 92. I've got 91 with you. Anybody in the room want to give me $9,200? 91 going once. 92 over there. 93. 93, now 94. 9,500. 96. 97. 98. 99, and now 10,000. 10 and a quarter. 10 and a half. I've got 10 and a quarter with you. Anybody in the room at 10 and a half? 10 and a quarter going once. Twice. You bought that one too. 10, 250. Number 100. My backup bidder. What's that number over there? Number 222. Anybody in the room for number 7023? Anybody here want that one today? Let's open it up. 7023 is on Crystal Road, Vestaburg. It's an old grain elevator. It's got some issues, needs some work. $4,500. I've got it right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 46? Anybody at 4,600? I've got 4,500 going once, twice. 4,500. It's bidder number 1111. You have a blue card, which means you got here late and maybe didn't hear all the rules. You don't have any delinquent property taxes in the county. You're golden. 4,500, number 1111 is the winner on that one. $7024 is adjacent to that last piece that we just sold. $1,700 is what you want that one too. 1,700. 18. Interested in 18? I've got 17 right here. 17 going once, twice. 1,700. Number 1127. Same question for you. No delinquent taxes in Montcalm County, correct? All right. We got to check. We already sold 7025. Anybody interested in 7026? It's another skinny. It's 11 feet wide. That's why we got it. On the next and last page, before we go to Tawas City, number 7027 is circled in my book, and that means somebody's interested. On Seneca Court, wooded lot, Howard City, $1,700. Where's my bidder for that one? Right there, I got 1,700. Anybody want to give me 18? 17 going once, twice. That's yours. What's 287? That's the minimum bid. Anybody interested in 7032? What about 7033? Helicopter parking. 7034 is where we're going to go next. That one, I've got some interest online and in the room. It's on Edgewood Street. We've got actually two of them in a row here that are adjacent, or as they would say, north of the bridge, side by each. 7034, I've already got $2,400 for that one online. Anybody in the room want to give me 25? I've got 25 there, 26 over here, not 27, 28, 29, and 3,000. You want to give me 3,500? How about 4,000? 4,500? 5,000. 5,500? 56. I've got 5,500 with you. Anybody in the room at 5,600? 56, 57, 58, 59, and now 6,000. 61, 62, 63, 64, 6,500, 66, 67, 68, 69, 7,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 8,000. You want to give me 8,500? What about 9,000? How about 9,500? 91. I've got 9,000 with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 91? 9,000 going once, twice. 9,000, number 111. My backup bidder is number 274. Now let's sell the one right next to it. Number 7035 is vacant. 100. What about 4,000? I'm at 5,000 with you. 51, 52. You want to give me 55? How about 6,500? 7,000. 66. I've got 6,500 right there. Anybody in the room at 66? 65 going once, twice. 6,500. Backup bidder is 274. And we're done. We're going to go back through the ones that are unsold. We may have had some interest from somebody online and we didn't get to them. We'll be in Tawas City tomorrow, in case you're bored and want to go for a ride. Numbers. Right off of YouTube.